This isn't a speech. This isn't motivation. And it's definitely not a lecture. Think of this like a fire at the end of a long day. There's no audience here, no performance. It's just men sitting with truth for a moment. If you're here, you didn't come for hype. You came because something in you is tired. And it still wants to grow. So let's talk. Not about who you should become, but about what you've been carrying. You learned how to survive systems that never asked how you were doing. You learned how to be useful, how to be reliable, how to be quiet. That wasn't weakness. That was intelligence. It was a strategy for navigating the world you were given. But adaptation has a shelf life. And a lot of men are still living by rules that expired years ago. This project exists because the world changed. And no one handed men a new map. We were given the old one, torn and faded, and told to find our way in a world that looks completely different. It's no wonder so many of us feel lost, running on fumes, trying to be the man we were told we should be, while a deeper part of us knows not working anymore. You know, there's this idea that strength is silence, that a real man just grits his teeth and bears it. But silence is a tactic. It works in emergencies, in a crisis where you need to act, not talk, but it fails in a life. A life isn't a single emergency, it's a long series of moments. And a man who never speaks what he carries, what he's truly going through, eventually becomes ruled by it. That weight doesn't just disappear, it gets heavier. It was about choice. It was about being able to hold an emotion without letting it command you. That is mastery. Can you feel anger without lashing out? Can you feel sadness without letting it drown you? That's strength. But endurance without reflection, without understanding what you're enduring and why that isn't virtue, it's erosion. It's slowly being worn down from the inside until there's nothing left. Here's the thing. Most men don't struggle because they're broken. They struggle because they were never taught how to name what they feel. They weren't given the words. So everything becomes stress. Everything gets bundled under tired. Everything is met with, I'm fine. But underneath that simple surface is a universe of experience. Underneath, I'm fine, is grief. It's pressure. It's fear. It's loneliness. It's the feeling of being overwhelmed, but having no idea how to ask for help. And here's the important part. Feelings don't disappear when you ignore them. They don't just vanish into thin air. They relocate. They move into your body as chronic pain, as tension in your shoulders. They move into your temper, making you snap at the people you love. They sabotage your sleep, leaving you exhausted. They create distance in your relationships, making you feel isolated even when you're surrounded by people. Healing doesn't mean falling apart or losing control. It means finally letting something be felt, so it doesn't have to keep screaming for your attention in destructive ways. It's about giving it a name, looking at it, and letting it pass through you instead of setting up camp inside you. Let's just be honest for a second, men will rebuild an engine from scratch. Reorganize the entire garage until it's a work of art, and optimize their personal finances down to the last penny. We'll walk around with an emotional limp, telling everyone, I'm good. I'm good. And then wonder why everything feels so much heavier than it should. We wonder why we're so exhausted all the time. Newsflash. You're not being dramatic for feeling something. You're a human. That's how this works. And no, stuffing it all down doesn't make you noble. It doesn't make you strong. It just makes you tired. It makes you a stranger to yourself and to the people who want to know you. The real you, not just the capable, functional version you show the world. There is nothing weak about responsibility. There is nothing soft about discipline. These are cornerstones of a good life. But hardness is not strength. Hardness is fear that has learned to wear armor. It's a defense mechanism that eventually becomes a prison. A true warrior, a truly strong man, faces reality. And that includes his inner reality. That means owning your patterns. It means looking at your automatic reactions, your triggers, your habits of avoidance, and you do this not with shame. You don't beat yourself up. You do it with precision. You look at it like a problem to be solved. You don't grow by hating yourself into change. That just creates more conflict inside you. You grow by respecting yourself enough to do the work, to look under the hood and see what's really going on. That's the ultimate form of self-respect. Time has a way of clarifying things, doesn't it? One day you wake up and realize you're not really afraid of failure anymore. You failed before, and you survived. What you're really afraid of is getting to the end and realizing you lived a life that never quite felt like yours. A life dictated by other people's expectations, by old scripts you inherited but never chose. We think about legacy as what we leave behind: money, a business, a house. But true legacy is what you pass through right now. It's what you pass to your children, into your relationships, into your work. The unhealed parts of you get inherited. Your kids, your anxieties, your patterns of avoidance, but so does courage. You don't have to fix everything about yourself overnight. You just have to stop pretending that everything is fine when it's not. That first step, that simple act of honesty, changes everything. A man becomes sovereign, truly his own man, when he stops outsourcing his inner life. When he stops letting culture, or his parents' expectations, or his own old survival scripts run the show. He becomes the governor of his own inner world. It's about clarity. It's about consciously deciding what stays in your life, what needs to end, and what you want to help evolve. It's about being able to draw a line and say, this is who I am now, and this is the direction I'm headed. And you stop apologizing for that growth. You stop feeling guilty for outgrowing people or habits or versions of yourself that no longer serve you. This project isn't here to tell you who to be. It's here to remind you that the man beneath the armor, beneath the roles you play, is still alive. He's still capable. He's still learning. He's still becoming. The fire is quiet now. If this conversation stayed with you, good. That means it was meant for you. Thanks for listening.